Hey guys, it's Quita from At Home with Quita. Thank you so much for joining me on another video. If you're new here on my channel, I hope you'll consider subscribing. And if you're not new here, you know how I feel about you. I really appreciate you joining me again. So in this video, we're actually going to be doing a revised setup of my Bible study planner. I did do a video on my channel recently with how I set up my new Bible study planner. I'm still tweaking it, trying to figure out how to make it as functional for me as possible. So I thought in this video, I'd show you how I'm changing a few things. I did go ahead and pick up this calendar expansion pack from the Happy Planner the other day. You saw this in my haul video. I've been looking everywhere for this because I just wanted the monthly view so I can track a few things. And so I was happy that I was able to pick this up. So we'll be incorporating that into the new planner setup. And so let's go ahead and get started with this video. And that way I can show you how I'm going to set everything up and how I'm going to use this Bible study planner. All right, so as most of you know, I use a classic size Happy Planner, and this is my catch-all planner. I have every single thing about my life in this planner, including my faith planning or Bible study planning. And so that is actually located at my top tab of goals. That to me is considered a goal because it's a spiritual goal. And then I have a side tab or divider that says faith. And so within that faith tab, I've got a couple of things here. I've got a Bible reading schedule. And then I've also got some Bible study ideas for my personal study and then also from our family worship. We do a weekly family worship. And so I like to write down ideas so I can make it fun and entertaining for the kids. And then I normally have a few pages here of already pre-decorated study topic. And so I've studied everything so far that I need to, well, not that I need to study, but that I had in here. And so I'm going to go ahead and replenish some of those pages once I get everything set up in my new planner. And that way, if I'm on the go or just daily, I have my whole planner here and I can just pull those pages and I can do my little studies from here. And so that's why I like having one planner and I like having everything all in the one planner. And so that's where I house my faith planning inserts. I do not have the faith planner. I actually just use the filler paper from the Happy Planner, and that's how I do my faith or Bible study planning. And so let's go ahead and get started with the whole setup process. All right, so I used the planner that says it's your year. I thought it was really pretty. I love the colors and I love the discs here. I love the color of the whole color scheme, looks beautiful to me. And so I thought this would be the perfect planner. I just had this laying around from last year. I used not this It's Your Year planner, but it did have these rings and it said something else on the cover. I can't recall. And so I just had this, and so I decided to use this for my faith planning. And so when you open it up here, you see the remainder of that Bible reading schedule. I only keep up until a certain point in that other planner, and then I keep the balance here. And then we've got some sticky notes. These are actually printables from my shop. I will link below, and then I do have a video on my channel actually walking through how all of these look, and so you can always refer back to that, which I'll link below as well. And so I'm working on this table of contents. I'm not quite sure yet how I want everything to be broken out yet. That's why it's blank, but I'm sure it'll come to me over time. And then there's also a page for symbolism used in this chapter, my personal study of, the name of the character to be analyzed. So this is for character study. And then a historical analysis of whatever character or event. And so that's how I have my printables. There is one more printable in here, I believe. Well, actually, no, there isn't. They're all in here. It's the other printable is in here, I believe. Yep, lessons learned. And so I'll be using these lessons learned printables a lot. I love these, and it just kind of breaks everything down for you. In addition, I'll be writing on the actual filler paper because I do enjoy doing that too, which is how I did this whole layout here. And so we'll walk through that as we get to it. And so that's how the printables look in my shop. I'll put the link below just in case you have an interest in that. And so this is how the old table of contents was going to be until I created those printables. And so that's why this is here. I don't like wasting paper, so I'll probably just repurpose this for another purpose. And so I'm going to keep this here until that time. And then we've got sticky notes here and then some filler paper. And then it came down to the dividers. And that's where I kind of lost, my whole direction. I didn't really know how I wanted things organized. And then of course I've got a missing tab here because I used it for something else. And then I've just got a whole bunch of filler paper in here. I've got more sticky notes in the back here, which I love these. And then I've got a folder and then of course my pen. And so we're really gonna kind of redo this whole thing. And so we're gonna take mostly everything out and we're just gonna reorganize it. And we're hopefully gonna get it the way we like it this time and make it more functional. And so let's go ahead and start by just kind of pulling some of this stuff out. Now I'm not going to pull everything out, like that can stay there because I can just literally take the divider and put it where I want it to go. And so I know the table of contents is going to stay in the front, and I like having this divider here because I feel like it protects the page. And we're going to pull these out because these are going to be my sections. And so I'm going to have a section for symbolisms, a section for personal study, a section for character, and a section for historical analysis. And then I think I'm probably going to just stick this other page, lessons learned, within some of those tabs. And so, or maybe I'll do it. I think I also wanted to do it by illustrations. And so we'll see. So we'll just start organizing and we'll see how it all works out. So I'm going to go ahead and open these. Again, these are from the Daydreamer. Trendsetter. Y'all told me it was Trendsetter. And so this is just the monthly extension pack. And so I've been looking for this everywhere because I really wanted to use this to track my monthly Bible reading and my monthly scripture and all that stuff. So I thought this would be cool for that. And so let me pull that away. And so as you can see, we've got several tabs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. And then plus these 3. So I've got 9 total that I can use to organize this thing. And so let's go ahead and put the first one in. I'm going to put that one in after this table of contents. I'm going to reprint these pages because I bought some 32-pound paper, and that paper is a much better quality. And so I'm going to reprint all of my printables, and that way it's going to be a little more substantial in terms of the paper weight. And so we'll do that. We probably won't do that on this video, but we will do that. And of course, I'll link the paper I'm using below as well. And so this first tab, I'm not sure what it's going to be quite yet. And so I'm just going to stick the tabs in for now, and then we'll come back and we'll label them all once I figure out the order that I want things to be in, because once it's in that order, it's in that order. So I want to make sure I get it right. And so what I think I'm going to track here on my monthly view is I'm going to track my daily text or my daily scriptures for the day. And so every day I'll write in the scripture for that day, and I'll probably write in a little bit of what I gleaned from it. And then I may also write in my Bible reading schedule as well, pull it from that other page that I got. And so that way I know what I need to do on a daily basis. And so that's what I plan on tracking here. And then I'm not quite sure what I'm going to track on these pages just yet, because I'm kind of just looking at it for the first time. I'm probably just going to do some journaling and some other things like that, and maybe a checklist of upcoming Bible topics I want to discuss or I want to study. Probably will do that there. Monthly goals would be like make sure I'm reading the current magazine, or make sure that I'm doing my daily text, things like that I'll track here. And of course, I'm a very private person, so I'm probably not going to show you too much of this once it's all decorated and everything, because I think that faith planning is kind of a personal thing to me. And so what I'll probably do is come back at least once and show you one layout, just so you can kind of see how everything is working. But you probably won't see a lot of faith plan with me. So just to put that out there, but I will come back and show you at least how I have it all set up once it's like fully functional. And so that's probably what I'll plan there. And then here, I'm probably going to break down like topics that I've studied. And so as I'm studying them, I'll write it in. And so that way I'll kind of know, and then I'll probably put the page number or the section that it's in, because I'm thinking I might do page numbers as well. I'm not quite sure yet, but I'm thinking at least if I write it in and then put where it's located, then I can get to it easily. And so this is also going to kind of be like, I guess kind of be like the table of contents. So maybe I won't use it like that. Maybe as I'm studying the topics, I'll still write them in, but I may not put the page numbers. I don't know yet, y'all. I'm still trying to figure this whole thing out. I just really wanted to set it up for you guys so you can see how I plan on using it. And of course, that'll probably evolve over time as well. And so I'm not quite sure how I'm going to use this yet. It might just be literally daily to-dos in terms of what I want to do, because I do faith planning and Bible study and stuff daily. And so maybe it'll just be like what I want to do for that day. And I do track that also in my planner. On the bottom of my planner, I track my goals, which is mainly spiritual goals. And so that's tracked here at the bottom throughout the whole entire week. And so if I do decide to put that here, then it will transfer into my planner as well. And so that may be just what I do. But again, we'll see how that works out. And you've got a few pages of that. and then some journal paper, which is great because I love this filler paper, and so I'll be using this to decorate and do my faith planning as well. Right now I do use filler paper a lot in addition to my printables here, and so it'll be the same way within this planner. And so they give you a couple of pages of that, so that's great. And then I'll stick the other pages in here, and so that'll work out just fine. And then I don't need any of this stuff here. I'll probably cover that up, and then maybe I'll keep this here, maybe to kind of give me a snapshot of what I want to do next month. And then this will probably all be faith planning. We have a lot of songs and videos and things that I can watch, and so I'll probably write that stuff in here. And so this is kind of cool. And then again, that's that table of contents page that I showed you. So that's section 1. Again, I'm not quite sure yet how I'm going to order it. And so for now, we'll just put it there. And then at the end of this video, we'll go back and we'll see how we want it all sectioned out. And so I'm just going to pop in all of these monthlies, and then I'm going to pull out this other stuff that I am no longer using. So all of these are the same thing. So I'm not going to flip through this one, because we kind of just went over how I plan on using things. All right, so we'll just pop it in. And I'm going to pull these out because these are going to be sectioned off eventually, and they're going to go into whatever section I want them to go in. I love the dividers. They're so pretty and fun and vibrant, and it's going to make me want to pick this planner up and use it because all things pretty inspire me. So I love the color scheme. And so within here, I'm going to leave some filler paper at the end, which I've already got here. And so I'll leave all that here so I can constantly pull from that as needed. But I think, again, the way it's broken up is I'm just going to stick things in between those 2 filler pages that I showed you. And so everything will be here because I want it to be this on the end. And so I'll just take this and stick it in between here, and then that's where I'll do my studies. And of course, like I said, in addition will be my printables that I have. So that's how I plan on doing that. And I use this filler paper as well as this filler paper. And so I like them both because sometimes you just want a pop of color on the side, and sometimes you want no color at all. And so I'm literally just going to stick these monthlies in. I love the monthly. I'm so glad that they came out with the expansion pack or the extension pack, because I literally don't plan only monthly, so this would not have worked for me for my actual planning. I don't plan just only monthly. I like the weekly layout as well, but I do like it for this because, again, I can just track at a glance my monthly. I can schedule it out, and I can say, you know, I want this scriptures this day, because we know all the scriptures in our daily text for the whole month, for the whole year actually. And so I can plan in advance and just write the scripture here and then my little snippet. And then of course the Bible reading schedule that I have in my other planner is already planned out as well, so I can just put that in addition here. And so I'm excited about using this. So again, more filler paper. I'll just keep that in the back. So what I'm doing is I'm just pulling out the divider here, and then I'm putting in the new dividers. And so make sure you guys comment below also and let me know how you faith plan. Do you use the faith planner? Do you like the faith planner? I don't know. I don't feel like I need a weekly box for my faith planning. I feel like just having the monthly overview and some of these pages here is perfect for me. So I wouldn't quite know how to use the weekly box. And I suppose I can create a printable like you've seen from me before. I have a budget planning printable, and then I have two regular printables for the regular planner. For those people who don't like stickers and just think it's a little bit too much for them, they can just print on the pages. So I probably could use that for my faith planner too. But I just feel like since I'm doing it this way with writing it out, I don't really need, like, I get deep, you know, I try to get deep and not be just superficial. And so to me, a box is not enough for that. And so I think the weekly and then having these pages in here is going to be just fine. So that's it. That's the last page here. And then again, we've got a lot of filler paper in the back here. And then we've got these stickers that I can put the months on. And so now I've got everything, all the pages in here and ready to go. And so I think, let's see, how am I gonna section this off? Of course, I do want my table of contents here first, and I think I want to pull out this because I think I want a separate tab for Bible reading. And so that way when I read a particular section in the Bible, then I can just take that and write it in one of my printables or on a blank page, and then I can break down what I learned. And so I think I want to keep this within one of the tabs. So let me see how I want to break everything else down. All right, so I've got everything set up in terms of all of the dividers, and I just did a little rethinking, and I think what I'm gonna do, guys, is I'm actually gonna do it by the month. I think that's the simplest thing to do, and each of these dividers has a monthly view on it, and so it's gonna be hard to kind of break it up by subject on these tabs. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna keep it by the month. And so whatever I decide to study within the month is gonna go in that month. And then what I'll do in terms of the table of contents is I'll write the month instead of the page number. So if it's on the wheat in the weeds, it'll be wheat and weeds January. And so that way I'll know that I can go into January and I'll be able to see what that actual thing is for January, the subject that I've studied. I'll be able to see the page decorated and the breakdown of what I learned from each thing. And so that's what I'll do. I hope I didn't confuse you guys initially, but I rethink of things during a video. Sometimes I'm like, you know what, I'm not doing that. That's confusing. And so it would have been too confusing to break things down by subject. And so instead, like I said, I'll just do the monthly, and then here is where I'll break things down so that way I can locate that particular subject. So that sounds a little more reasonable to me. So that's what we'll do. And so so I know within January, again, I have my Bible reading schedule, and I'm actually going to pull this out and put it back where I had it, because I'm going to pull it from here in terms of the schedule of reading, and I'm going to write it on the calendar. And so this is actually already in there, the first page. This is page 3. So page 1 and 2 is in my other planner. And I'm thinking right now about pulling this whole month of January out and putting it in my classic size happy planner. The only thing is that I'm not sure if it's going to fit. I do know I have 2 months of my budget planner in there, and so maybe I'll take 1 month of the budget out and I'll put this in there. I think that's probably what I'm going to do. And so that way I'll have January in there, and then once I'm done with January, I'll put it back in here. And so yeah, that's how we're going to do it. And so I know within January, I'm going to go back and I'm going to write all the scriptures here. We're not too far into January. And so let me go ahead and decorate that month real quick. And so that way it's already decorated, and then I can go back and put in the scripture for that particular day. And so let's see, we're on the 15th. Let me look at my overview of January. The first started on a Monday. Okay, so I'm just going to date this out real quick. Okay, so I've got it all dated out, and then I'm going to go ahead and pull this month here. And so that way we'll know this is January. I wish they had enough stickers for every single tab that they gave you. They only have enough for like 2 or 3 months. Yeah, because let's see, 4 months, I guess. Yeah, I wish they had enough for, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 dividers that they gave us. That would be probably better. That way we can use, because what are we going to do for the other months? All right, so January, I'm only going to do January, and then what I'll do is I'll just snap this in here, or I'll put it in a pocket, and then as February comes along, I will add February's. And then let me pull January from here, and then we're going to put that here. Perfect. All right, so we've got it all dated out. And so the next thing that I have to do is go ahead and just fill in the Bible reading for the day, and of course the daily scripture, and a little snippet if I want to. And so then I've got to figure out exactly how I'm going to use these other pages. And I'm sure I'll figure that out probably today. I'll be thinking about it all day, and it'll hit me, and I'll be like, okay, that's how I'm going to use it. So I'm not worried too much about figuring that part out. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and pop in all this stuff that I did for January. All of these subjects here that I did. So I use my printable page there. And I'm not sure, I'm probably going to just put it in order of, how I did it and the dates that I studied it. I didn't put the date on these, but I kind of know the order of them. And so I'm just going to put them in that order. It doesn't really matter. It was all studied in the month of January. So let's put that there. And I think maybe one of these may have been studied in the month of December, but I'm going to put it in here in January since I'm just starting this whole new faith planner. And so anything that I study will go here. And so this will be January. So this is everything that's studied in January. And so what I'll do is I'll put the wheat and the weeds, and then I'll write it here on the table of contents. So it'll be the wheat and the weeds, January. And so maybe I'll reprint this whole thing and I'll change that to month. And that way I'm able to find it easier. And so I don't actually need my label maker since we're not doing it the other way. Y'all, I'm not going to edit this video. You know, what I said earlier in terms of working through this whole process, I'm going to leave in the video because I think it's important for you to see my process, my thought process, and how I do things, and that I'm not a perfect planner. You know, I might think of things one way and then eventually it changes. And so nothing is perfect about my channel. You know, I've got a lot going on. And so I want you to see my whole process in terms of how I think things through. And then I have an epiphany and then I'm like, okay, this is what we're doing. And it still isn't perfect. And so I want you to see that. So I'm not going to edit that out. I want you to see it all. And so I've got it all dated here. And so again, like I said, I'll go through the months as they come along. And so let me stick this in the back here. And so let's go through one more time how I plan on use this planner. I'm going to stick it right here in the back. And then eventually what I'll probably do is punch it. But right now I'm not going to worry with it. I've got a lot of filler paper here, so I should never run out. Well, eventually I'll run out, but not anytime soon. And I'm going to pull these two and put them in the front. Not quite sure what I'm going to use these for yet either, but I just like having them in here. And just in case I need to write something down really quick, I'll have it. And then I'm going to put this back in the pocket. And then we're going to walk through one more time how everything's set up. Okay, so the first thing again that we have is some sticky notes. We have a dashboard, then we have the table of contents. Again, I'm going to write in the topic and the month. This is an old one that I'm not using. I have my Bible reading schedule. The first page of this is actually in my other planner. And so what I'm going to do is just pull out the whole entire month of January and put it in my classic size happy planner. This will stay here until I get to page 3. Then I've got some filler paper there. Then we've got the month of January here. I'm going to use the monthly view is what I'm going to use to track my Bible reading in terms of pulling it from that schedule that I showed you here, and then also my daily scripture. And so anything that I glean from that, I'm going to write here as well, just a little small snippet of that. And anything that happens at my religious meeting, if I have a picture, I may take a picture of it and put it in here as well. Still deciding on that, but I do know the Bible reading is going to be tracked here as well as the daily scripture. And then here, of course, I'm still thinking about what exactly I'm going to do here. I think just some journaling here. And then eventually, as I continue to use it, you'll see how I plan on doing that as well. It'll probably just come as it comes. And so I'm not really too worried about that yet. And then my daily to-dos, I think what I'm going to do is just write down as I'm studying what I'm studying for that day or what I need to study. And then I'll come here and I'll pull it. And then that's what I'll study for the day. Still deciding on this as well. And then also we've got another page of that. And then here is where I'm going to keep my actual studies. And so it came with 2 pages of filler paper here and then here. And so I'm just going to snap everything in right here in this section. And then this is going to be the actual study of whatever subject. And so I've got a few things in here to be studied. And then also some stuff in here that I have studied. And so what I'll probably do again, like I said, is I'll take the entire month out and put in my classic size happy planner. It won't have anything studied on it yet. Like for instance, February, I'll just pull this whole month out and I'll put it in here along with a few sheets of filler paper. And then as I'm studying the topics that I'm studying based on either the Bible reading schedule that I have here or my daily text, my daily scripture that I want to write down. Any topic that I want to study is going to be within that month. And I'll pull this out, keep it in my classic size happy planner. That way I have my one catch-all planner. And as I'm, living my life, I can just pull out this planner and turn to my faith planning tab, which is here. And then I can just do my studies out of this planner. And I can pull ideas from here as well. I like keeping this in here only because this is my main planner. And so I like to see it in my main planner. Eventually, as this page gets filled up and things get checked off, then I'll pull it out of here and I'll put it in my Bible study planner. But for right now, I like having it in here. And so let's go ahead and pull out the month of January and just go ahead and snap it in here just so you can see how it looks. All right, and so I won't need this anymore for the rest of the month because everything will be in here, which is cool. That's why I like having one planner. And so that way I don't have to keep going and fumbling around with different planners. It's just all in one planner. And then when I get done with this, I can put it back in that planner and I can pull February out. And so let's go ahead and snap this in. All right, so I've got it all in here. So again, the breakdown of it is you'll see the faith planning, and then you'll see January here. And so I know that I've got my study ideas here, my Bible reading schedule, and then January is actually, we're gonna break it all down here. And so let me find, where did I put, oh, let me move that over. All right, so we're excited about using this whole planner setup. Again, it'll probably change again, but right now I'm feeling this whole thing and I think this is gonna work just fine. And so to make the space for it, I'm gonna have to pull out February in my budget planner, which is fine because I'm already planned up for January and some of February. And so when I get ready to use February, I'll just pop this back in. And so that way it'll give me enough space to be able to close this baby up because it's getting a little bit full, as you can see. And so let's also, so I'm done with that. And so I'm gonna put that back in my budget planner. And then these are my printables again from my shop. So I'm gonna snap these in here for a minute and then eventually they'll come out. And then eventually you'll start seeing these in my Bible study planner because I do use a lot of filler paper, but I'm also going to incorporate these a lot more too. And so when I do that first revisit of my new setup, then of course I'm going to show you everything and how I've actually made it, functional to the best of my ability. And so you'll see that again in an upcoming video. And so for now, everything is set up again by the month. And then I pulled January out and I put it in there. And so now I'm ready to actually plan a little bit more, and I can file this away until I'm ready to pull the next month. And so that's basically how I plan on doing my Bible studies and this new planner setup. And so if you guys have any questions, make sure to let me know. Again, I did not edit the first part of the video where I was talking through that initial way I thought it was going to be set up. I'm keeping it like that because y'all need to see the realness of my struggles and how I work through my planning. And so I'm going to keep that in the video. And so hopefully you enjoyed this video. Again, like I said, if you have any questions, make sure to let me know, and hopefully you'll consider subscribing to my channel and of course liking this video if you like these types of videos. So I appreciate you guys stopping by today, and I will see you next time.